Okay, so we've got our brand new plus 20 pistons here. They're flat top, so I'm just checking. It looks like it doesn't matter which way round they go in the barrels. There's no front or rear marking. There's just the oversized stamp. So I don't think, I hope not, that it matters which way round the pistons go. But obviously you need to check that, especially if you've got some kind of high compression pistons that might have a cutaway for the valves or whatever. But these, fairly sure these will go in either way round. Then we've got the piston rings, and very helpfully it says this piston ring is number 3, this one's number 2, and this one's number 1. So we know which groove. We've got the 3 grooves: oil control ring, first compression, and second compression, top compression. So we've got the oil ring, second compression, top compression, and also very helpfully on each ring it says top. Okay, so vitally important to make sure that your piston rings are around the right way, because there's a cutaway on there's a sort of beveled edge here on the inside of the ring, on that side, and then it's flat on this side. Now, from my understanding, generally if there's a cutaway on the outside of the ring, that goes to the bottom, but this is a cutaway on the inside of the ring, and this definitely goes to the top. So I'm very grateful for having this top stamped on the ring, because if it wasn't, I'd be thinking, well, maybe it goes the other way up, because often, as I said, this beveled groove, especially if it's on the outside of the ring, will actually go face downwards. But on these it goes face upwards, and the same for the first compression ring. Right, yeah, so that's a bit better picture. You can see the beveled edge on the inside, which definitely goes to the top. As opposed to the other side, the bottom side of the piston, in this case the piston ring, which of course is completely flat. So it's vitally important to get these around the right way. In the past I've rung suppliers up. If I've not been 100% sure, 100% sure, I've rung them up. But if it's not come with full instructions, or it's not marked with top on, I'll ring them up and say, like, hang on, which way up do these rings go? Because you don't want to get it wrong. Right, what we're going to do now is we're just going to use our thumb nails, and we're just going to prise these apart and put them down, obviously starting with the third one. I do have a piston ring pliers, special pliers for opening the rings, and last time I used them it broke a ring. I've never ever broken a ring in my life, even when I was a stupid 17-year-old ham-fisted. Still fairly ham-fisted now, but there you go. But I managed to break a ring last time because I thought, oh, I know I better use those proper pliers, to get it right. And of course I did, and the pliers broke the ring. So I always just use thumbnails from now on to prise them apart. Okay, I'll do this slightly from the side because the camera's so in the way. So we've got the first ring, the oil control ring, which is in 2 parts. It's got a spring, and then it's got the outer section, the main ring. So we're going to take the spring out, and that is probably, there we go, it's got it actually comes fully apart there. But I don't need it fully apart, I just open it a bit, open it enough to go down over the piston, and then close it again over the actual ring, the groove. So I need to find out where the hole was, the gap where it closes them. That's there, so I'll put it the opposite side to the hole in the ring. Okay. There. Okay, I'm going to put on this side. Top, yeah, thumbnails. Go down over. Keep going till we get to that third ring, third groove. But it is strange. There. Just checking that does go all the way in over that ring, over that spring. Yeah, good. Okay, yeah, so that's the first one in. Top is top. And we've got second one. It doesn't matter the orientation of the gap, we can move that later. Top, make sure top is top. And we open it. And we put it down into the second groove. There it goes, second groove. And then we've got the final compression, top compression ring, top again. And we're going to put it down into the first groove. These are actually quite easy, I'll tell you why, because they're such big pistons. And so, you know, if they're little pistons, then trying to open the spring, well, they're quite big, so the spring opens quite easily, the piston ring. Okay, so we've got they're on, that's it, and make sure they all say top. Right, and then what we're going to do, before we put them in, we'll turn the actual piston ring gap. We have them 120 degrees apart, and ideally not over the gudgeon pin, and ideally not facing exactly forwards of the engine or backwards to the engine. So I'll do it in a minute, because the thing is with these, you move them and then you look at them and they kind of they move themselves around on the bench. Somehow they do it. You look and suddenly the 120 degrees isn't there anymore. It doesn't matter that much, although having said that, because piston rings do move round as engines go. So people say, oh, you need to get this gap in exactly the right place. Well, I agree. I set them 120 degrees apart, but be aware that they do move. The piston rings tend to sort of move round as the engine goes up and down, so the gap isn't critical because it will move. Okay, and there we go. And I'll do the same to the other piston.